you niggas ain't real, real, real. Some of you niggas ain't real, real, real. Some of you niggas ain't real, real, real. Some of you niggas ain't real, real, real.
Peace, peace. Shalom, shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Knowledge for Knowledge, an exchange of information with Knowledge Ali. Here at Knowledge for Knowledge, we like to go over and discuss topics relating to the so-called black community to inform, educate, and find solutions to problems so they are no longer a problem. Hey people, y'all let me know if I sound good. I've been testing out some new equipment. Problem. Hey people, y'all let me know if I sound good. I've been testing out some new equipment. I've been testing out some new equipment. Take of episode 7. But I am your host, Knowledge Ali. Now, before we get into tonight's episode, please y'all let me know if I sound good. Like I say, this is the third time we done had to do this. Big E, thank you for joining in, man. Hey, how I sound?
I can hear you well, bro.
All right,
Everything good. Everything good.
That's good. That's good. Well, we're gonna get into some discussions in a minute, but I'm gonna break some shit down for the people on what the topic is. So, like I say, you know what I'm saying, I need y'all to do some shit. Get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, get comfortable. I know y'all home. It's motherfucker Friday and shit like that. Some of us too old to want to go out and run the streets and all that shit. So sit back, relax, roll up, pull up. You might want to grab a notepad, some sticky notes. Take some notes. Tonight's topic, healing/shadow work. What is it? Where do you start? Y'all ready? Let's go. So, healing from past trauma is a journey that involves several steps and strategies. So, let's dive in by acknowledging the trauma. You have to recognize and accept that you have experienced trauma. That's the first step. It's important to validate your feelings, you know, and understand that it's okay to feel the way you do, you know. Then, you know, go seek some support. Connecting with others can be, you know, it can be healing, you know. This might involve talking to friends, family, join a support group, seeking professional help from a therapist, you know, somebody who specializes in trauma. Learn to practice self-care, you know. Taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being is crucial. This can include, you know, things like regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep, it's techniques such as meditation, you know, deep breathing exercises, yoga, you know, Find something to calm your mind and reduce your stress. Learn to express yourself. If you got a problem expressing yourself, that might be your throat chakra or something like that. You know, that might be something it might not be where it need to be at. Find healthy ways to express your emotion. You know, if you find some healthy ways in expressing your emotions, you know, that can be therapeutic. This could be journaling, art, music, you know, some kind of creative outlet, you know what I'm saying? Put a star on this one I'm finna tell you now. If you ain't done it, I'm giving you this, and it ain't in no particular order. Oh, I know it's finna get deep. I'm bringing the rain. I hear the thunder in the background, y'all. But so yeah, like I say, it ain't in no order, but this one is a standout. Set boundaries, you dig? Like Wu-Tang said, protect your neck. But understand, protecting yourself from further harm is important. You know, this might mean setting boundaries with people who trigger those negative emotions, or avoiding situations that remind you of the trauma that you may have experienced in the past. You know, sometimes working with a mental professional, you know, might be necessary. You know, you got therapy such as what is called cognitive behavior therapy, CPT. You got eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. That's EMDR. And you got you know, trauma focused therapy. You know, those can be very effective. You know, if you know, closed off, what some of us like to call ourselves the black sheep, or you a hermit or whatever, I'm gonna tell you something else. If you a hermit, whatever, understand that a hermit either got to come out of his shell because it done outgrew that shit and they got to go find a bigger shell. So this is what I'm saying. You got to get at and get connected. You know what I'm saying? Maintain some healthy relationships and stay connected with a supportive community. You know, I think that can provide a sense of belonging and reduce that feeling of isolation. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, this another one. Put a star on this motherfucker too, you did. Take a sip of your drink if you done pulled up, cause I did shit. This a real conversation that needed a real stiff glass. So put a star on this one. Under, over, and understand this. Healing is a personal process, and it is important. Tell you, man, it's important to stay patient with yourself, man. Look, everybody's journey different, and it's okay. Like if you need help, say you need help. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't no weakness. It take a strong person to say they need help, bro. Anything that you think is a weakness, it actually take a strong person to break down and do that shit. And that's real talk. So like, it's okay to seek help, you know what I'm saying? And take the time you need to heal. For real, like, that shit ain't no, like this what I be telling my people, man, that fuck with me, like when they be, you know, we be talking, you know, having our ciphers and whatnot on some real shit, some conscious health and wellness, you know, type shit. I always tell them, man, you gotta trust the process. You can't rush the process, man. For real. Like, but anywho, like, you just take time. You just cannot rush that shit at all, bro. Like, well, not, bro. That's just how I'm talking. I'm from Florida, so like everybody can be, bro, or jit, whatever, you know. But anywho, like, for real, like, just, it's gonna take time. Understand it's gonna take time. Now, let's get into what is shadow work and where to start. So I'm gonna give y'all a little break, let y'all take another little sip. You know what I'm saying? If you got to roll another one, roll another one. You got to spark back up, spark back up. You know what I'm saying? Cause this shit finna get deep. So what is shadow work? It's a powerful practice that's rooted in psychology and in spirituality. It's aimed at exploring and integrating the hidden and repressed parts of ourselves that's often referred to as the shadow. You know what I'm saying? And these aspects can include emotions, desires, even memories that we might find unpleasant or unacceptable or whatnot. But by acknowledging and working with these parts, we can achieve greater self-awareness, healing, and personal growth. So this how you get started with shadow work. It starts with self-reflection. And you might have to do some journaling. But you're gonna also have to set aside time each day to reflect on your thoughts, your emotions, and your experience, And some of this you might have to write down, to keep track of it, to reflect at the end of the day. You might have to do this as you go along, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, journaling, it can be a good tool, write about your triggers, your reoccurring patterns, any strong emotional reactions you experience throughout the day. You can also incorporate meditation, mindfulness practices, like you put that in your routine. I think it can help you become more aware of that inner world and create a safe space for you to explore your shadow aspects. And if you don't know what shadow aspects is, put a pin in that one. I got you. I'm breaking this all down. I got you, man. Look, just like I say, man, just relax. I got y'all. So you gotta identify triggers. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to situations or people that trigger strong emotional responses in you. Because everybody ain't for you, man. Everybody ain't everybody cup of tea. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't fuck it with no tea that ain't good for you. These triggers, they often point to shadow aspects that need your attention. You might have to create dialogue with your shadow, engage in a dialogue with your shadow self, you know what I'm saying? Like on some remember that album T.I. versus T.I.P.? Yeah, you gotta sit down with yourself like that, like face to face, whether it's in the mirror or you sit in the chair and put a chair in front of you, you know what I'm saying, and have that dialogue, you know what I'm saying. Like I say, this can be done through journaling or like some type of visualization exercise where you imagine having a conversation with the parts of yourself that you usually suppress, and shit. Shout out to T.I. And if y'all don't understand what I'm talking about with dialogue with your shadow self, listen to T.I. versus T.I.P. and you'll know what I'm talking about, because that whole album is a dialogue with his shadow self. But if you find it challenging to navigate, shadow work on your own, you can consider seeking help, from a therapist, a counselor, who specialize in this area. Practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself throughout this process, man. Like, Shadow work can bring up some difficult emotions. I'm gonna say that again, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that shit with a little bit more feeling for the motherfuckers in the back. Shadow work can bring up some difficult shit. It's that shit you've been fucking running from. The shit that you act like don't fucking exist, you know what I'm saying? But it's important to approach those things with compassion and understanding. By doing this, you can benefit from shadow work and gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your behaviors, which enhances your self-awareness, you know what I'm saying? Shit. You can heal past wounds and improve your interaction with others, improving relationships, unlock shit full potential by integrating all parts of yourself and enhancing your personal growth instead of walking around with parts of you closed off, or you acting this way around this person, this way around this person. Like, you got so many people, like, you might have to blend all them motherfuckers together. You know, you'll end up addressing and healing patterns that have been passed down through generations and breaking the generational trauma. And yeah, we gonna touch on that later when I open up the panel real quick. We back there though, because I know we got something for y'all, real talk. So stop running from doing your shadow work, man, for real, for real. It can be a transformative journey, you know, towards becoming a more whole and authentic version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, we get into the panel and shit like that. I'm gonna do a book recommendation, and I still gotta break down the shadow aspects, and then we gonna go into the panel, because I appreciate them waiting, and we gonna continue to put down this shit. So I mean, it's plenty to eat. Just grab your plate and fill this shit up real quick. So check this real quick. Knowledge Ali book recommendation. Dealing with this subject is some highly recommended books on shadow work that, you know, it can help you dive deeper into this transformative practice. So you got one, it's called Owning Your Own Shadow by Robert A. Johnson. And like, this book it's a concise and insightful like introduction to shadow work, you know, exploring the concept of the shadow and how to integrate it into your life, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll give you another one real quick, you know what I'm saying, before we have to carry on, and then we're gonna jump into the counter, you know. Man, that drink hitting, boy. I got some sweet tea and I got some wine. Yeah, I'm country and a little bougie at the same fucking time type shit. But the second book is The Shadow Work Journal. It's by Luna and Soul, but it's spelled S-O-L, not soul like how most of us got soul, you dig? But this is a practical journal that it got prompts and exercises that'll help you, you know, explore and integrate your shadow aspects, you know. But these books can offer a range of perspectives and techniques, making it'll make them valuable resources for anyone interested in shadow work. If you know you really want to find a version of your authentic self. But yeah, so all right, here we go. Shadow aspects. Like I say, I done told y'all what you know. I done went over healing. You know how you can heal, what shadow work is. You know what I'm saying, what you can do, but you got to know what you got to look out for. So I got y'all. So check this before we open this up and start breaking it down even more for y'all. So, with shadow aspects, right? These are parts of ourselves that we often reject and deny because they don't align with the persona, you know, that we present to the world. These aspects, you know, they can include a wide range of emotions, traits, behaviors that are generally viewed, or they viewed like negative or undesirable, you know. But I got some examples for you. I'm like I say, we breaking this down. Um, having a having an aggressive impulse or impulses, you know, feelings of anger, rage, hostility, you know, that we might suppress to maintain a composed exterior. Jealousy and envy, you know, having resentment towards others' successes or possessions, you know, that can be difficult to acknowledge. Um, Greed, selfishness, you know, desires for, you know, more than what we need, you know. Some of that often is hidden to appear as being generous or selfless, you know what I'm saying? Uh might be shameful of your past actions or your past experience, you know, that we feel ashamed of, and you know, we prefer to forget or act like that shit never happened and it existed, or you compartmentalize that shit and throw that shit in the back of your head and carry the fuck on. Guess what? That shit gonna weigh your ass down. And monkey go ride the fuck out your goddamn back. I'm telling you. I also tell people who fuck with me, man, look, if you gonna carry bags, what the fuck you got in them? Sometimes you gotta stop and sort that shit out and take out what you don't fucking need. Um, you know, if you got immoral urges, thoughts, or desires that, you know, go against our moral and ethical standards that we may have. Um, Fears and insecurity, you know, deep-seated fears, or yeah, and self-doubts, you know, that we hide, you know, making it seem like we, you know, making it appear like we confident and fearless and all that, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with fear or having fear, like, or shoot, you ain't have to embrace it, you know, or your insecurities, but you know, or having irrational wishes, you know, having desires that seem unreasonable or unrealistic, you know. That shit can kind of be impractical, you know what I'm saying? You got unacceptable sexual desires, you know what I'm saying? Sexual thoughts and fantasies that we consider inappropriate or taboo. Um, but hey, man, look, listen though. These shadow aspects, you know, these motherfuckers can manifest in various ways. Now, you got to be on the lookout for real, for real. These motherfuckers, they tricky, they crafty as fuck. They done been with you your whole fucking life. Understand that shit. You know, they can pop up like in ways such as through projection, you know, where we attribute these unwanted traits to others instead of recognizing them within ourselves, you know what I'm saying? By acknowledging it and integrating these parts, we can achieve greater self-awareness and personal growth, you know what I'm saying? So like, we got a couple of people on the panel. Who we got? We got some people. All right. We got Big E, we got Pineapple. We'll start from the bottom up, you know what I'm saying? And introduce yourself, let the people know who you is, and you know, let's start breaking this down for the people, you know what I'm saying? If you want to speak on the personal experience, if you done did your shadow work and you want to, you know what I'm saying, you want to share your testimony, speak your truth, you know what I'm saying, enlighten the people a little bit more, or you want to elaborate, take the flow. Big E, you there?
What's up, family?
Peace, my brother. How you been?
Going on.
Yeah, man, everything great. Everything great.
That's good, man. Let the people know who you is, what you got going on, what you do.
Well, for starters, I'm a master herbalist and I specialize in all natural and organic healing.
Mm,
But most of all, I like to focus on mental health,
mm.
you know, and just regaining mental clarity.
Okay.
And with that being said, like I feel like shadow work is it's not gonna be easy, but it's everything. Because
Yeah.
I remember, like I said on the other when we were on earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
when I first started my shadow work, I I was in the backyard. I had a chair. I just sat down. It wasn't nothing too intense. I just closed my eyes and I just tried to reflect on my past.
Okay.
You know, and along that journey, I just saw like it wasn't flaws. It was just basically like learning lessons. It was like experience. You know what I mean? And what I mean by experience is because I believe like the only way you can actually learn from your mistakes is if you revisit your past. And that's like what I think the true definition of shadow work is. So as I reflected, I just saw a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. I saw a lot of things that I was doing that I wasn't even aware of. You know what I mean? And that's the big thing about shadow work because that leads to self-awareness. And only through self-awareness when you actually realize who you truly are. You know what I mean? Like we got to shed the layers. You know what I mean? And we got to get back to the source of it all.
There
We
you
got to
go.
get back to that inner
There you go.
child. It's all about the inner child. It's all about that carefree
Mm-hmm.
person. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about unconditional
Mm.
love. You know what I mean? It's not about judgment. It's not about
I think we need to
trends.
be a
It's
little
not
bit
about
detailed, not to interrupt you. Self love too.
self-love for
You know,
sure.
my bad. I just had to add that.
Yeah, it's definitely about self-love also.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna incorporate self-love, you know, you must incorporate self-empowerment also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But
True.
but yeah, it's just through those experiences of doing shadow work, those first experiences, I really tapped into things that I were doing, like just, and I was unaware of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I first started finding out who I am, you know, and the more I practice this, the more I could dig deeper, you know what I mean, the more I can go further. But the thing about shadow work is no matter how far you think you've gone, it's like memories just pop up, you know. And so it's a never ending story, you know. But it's just all about just healing, just focusing on healing, you know, and pushing it forward.
Exactly. Exactly. So we got Miss Pineapple Iced Tea.
You
She been on
serious?
the live before. She good peoples. Miss Pineapple Iced Tea, you there?
What's going on? Well, I'm a beautician. I'm a
Peace, peace.
mom. I'm a mom. I really don't have any specifics to myself because I feel like I'm kind of like an all-around person. But I feel like I can give a good insight on things because I'm not religious, but I don't call myself spiritual
Mm-hmm.
because through things like shadow work, certain things have been revealed to me that has me looking at life in a different perspective. And when it comes to shadow work, I heard somebody say something before, and they were talking about depression and how depression is actually good for you
Mm-hmm.
because it puts you in a place where you have to reflect on yourself and you have to reflect on your actions and you have to recognize where you need to basically correct yourself and fix yourself. And the thing is that we treat depression like an illness. So instead of actually getting to the root cause and working through it, we mask it, and it just it builds up because we never acknowledge it. And another thing, like with psychology, psychiatrists, uh, like they make a big deal on getting therapy, but the thing is, the therapist can just start you. You have to be the one to actually do the work. It's not, you're not going to magically be okay just because you go to a psychiatrist, and while at the same time, you don't need to go to a psychiatrist to get your shit together. It's all a personal thing because I've been to therapy before, but I really didn't see a benefit in it. But what I did see a benefit in is actually sitting with myself. Ever since I was young, I've, in a way, like kind of talked to myself, but it's not like talk to myself, but I talk to myself to understand myself so that I can understand better when I am wrong so that it doesn't take a bunch of people around me to constantly tell me before I see something. I can recognize it on my own. And with that comes, basically going through things in life. But I recently, within the past few years, had to do shadow work. And it was hard and it was deep. And it was a lot of emotions that came up with it. And, even when you come out the deep part, you're still not out of it. It's just a different level. It still takes time to come out of it. And basically, once you come out, you learn that you have to work with your lower self. You can't just think like you're going to work with it and then it's going to disappear. The whole point of shadow work is learning how to work with your shadow self, basically. Okay, but I'm washing dishes and cooking, so I'm gonna let y'all finish up for a little bit.
That's what's up. Do your thing. I appreciate you for stopping by and dropping those jewels. Hopefully, some people will pick that up and put that down, and turn some things around. So I appreciate you for stopping by, Miss Pineapple Iced Tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna still be here. I was just gonna be
Oh,
coming
okay,
in and
okay. You
out.
just gonna be back in the back chilling.
Yeah, you hear my
I
baby.
got you. I got you. All right, who we got? We got My Naked Truth. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So introduce yourself to the people. Let them know what you got going on.
Well, as he stated, I'm my naked truth. I tap into spirituality. I tap into herbal remedies, just overall health and evolvement with my spiritual being. And I'm looking to help others do that as well.
So, have you gone through any healing process or done any shadow work? Elaborate on it for the people a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been on my spiritual healing for the last 7 years. I've been single for the last 7 years as well. I feel like I just got to the point to where I was tired of the same events taking place in my life. And I had to sit and think, what was it about me that was attracting such things? And I took a deep dive down that rabbit hole and found that, some of my characteristics and some of the things in my skeleton closet that we all have, was the cause of the things that were taking place in my life. And it forced me to, take a look at myself and point the finger back at myself rather than blaming everybody else for, the traumas that I was going through. And placing accountability for my actions and what I partaked in, that kind of caused the downfall of my life.
Yeah. Hey, people, y'all listen up, man. We putting down what y'all need. Y'all sit there and think about it. Y'all sit there and have y'all little small conversations about it, man. Look, this where it's at. Come get it. Um, Stop running. Period. You know what I'm saying? Stop running. For real, cause it's still gonna catch up with you, man. Or like, how long you gonna go with shit not going right for you, and you wondering why it ain't going right? You know what I'm saying? You got
Facts.
to backtrack and figure out where that shit started. You just can't ignore that shit. Act like, oh, it'll go away. Nah, it ain't going away. I'm gonna say some real shit. Some of y'all got trauma like herpes. It keep coming back. For real, man. But man, hey, Biggie, man, what that is about the you cover mental health, right? So what are some things that you think that a person can do to alleviate, mental stress and try and better their overall mental health?
Well, for starters, my personal experience with dealing with that, I found that nature was one of the most natural outlets,
Man,
and that's just basically, and that's just detaching from the phone and all, like just you and nature, you and yourself.
fact.
You know what I'm saying? One main reason why I say just vibing in nature is because, like, I think it's Japan or China or one of those places. They actually call it forest bathing, right?
Yeah,
But it's actually just you being out of nature, and what happens is when you being around that forestry, the photosynthesis of the trees and the flowers create negative ions,
ah,
and what these negative ions are basically they're electrical particles in the air, and this is one of the most natural ways of charging, besides taking your shoes off and stepping outside, stepping on the grass.
yeah, grounding,
um
yeah.
yeah, so I feel like that's one crucial way to deal with relieving some of that, in order to heal, relieving some of that trauma in order to heal. I also think that we should apply exercise into our life,
Most
because
definitely.
that's the most natural way of just burning off some of those toxicities, because at the end of the day, like, pain, fear, trauma, it's all a vibration, and it's either going to be negative or positive. And if it's negative, that is how we end up with different, like, health issues and things like that.
Hmm.
So so what you want to do is try to burn that off, or just release that, and replace it with the positive vibe. So I think exercises is the most positive way. Getting a lot of sweat in. Sweating is also good for that, ridding the body of those toxicities, which all end up a compilation of trauma. Um, and you just got to self empower yourself also.
Yeah,
You got to talk yourself through it.
because sometimes
You
like
know, you got to talk yourself through it.
yeah, most definitely, man. Because it's like I say, you gonna have to face, and a lot of people don't like this shit. You gotta face that motherfucker in the mirror. Mike, MJ said that shit mess. The man in the mirror. You gotta face that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You gotta face them, man. Like
You gotta
for
face it.
real,
You
bro.
gotta face it.
It's just
And
no
that,
other
and
way.
that's just basically like facing your fears, you know? And a lot of time we try to avoid our weaknesses.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But at the end of the day, a lot of times those weaknesses are what's gonna make us triumphant.
yeah,
You know, just facing it, just accepting it, you know, and just because the thing about it is you have to find the silver lining in every experience that occurs in your life. Nothing is designed to just bring you pain. It's all designed in order for growth,
true.
you know, and it's all about our perspective and how we view it. You feel me? Like, so if you're in a low state of being and you're unhealed, you don't want to do your shadow work to find out what the root of it is, then you're going to be psychologically trained to think in one narrow-minded way, you know? And then you'll miss the gift of it all.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I think that's the importance of actually just balancing your life and just facing your traumas.
yeah,
You know, it's just to release those negative energies within you. That's it. You got to relive it to see what is the purpose of it. It's all about getting to your source. You know what I mean? So you want to get to the source of everything, including the trauma, including the pain. You feel what I'm saying?
exactly.
So I believe like that's the importance of it all.
That's a fact right there. But like, you know,
And the thing about it is like it's not just like a overnight thing. Like this, the shadow work and the healing never stops. You know what I mean? Because could you repeat
I
that,
see a
bro?
lot of people
I
gonna
found.
think that too, bro.
Yeah, nah, man. Because the more you evolve, the more your whole the more you see things differently.
Yeah,
Like the more your consciousness expands. So you're gonna view things in different perspectives as you would when you were in a lower vibration. So it might not even be a different scenario. It might be the same scenario, and you might get a different meaning from
yeah,
it. You know
yeah,
that not, yeah, and that's when you see how groovy the shadow work game is. Because once you learn how to tango with it and you know get romantic with it and just build that bond and connection with it, then you can use it as to inspire you. Then you can see you know what I mean? Like, so you got to make everything a thrill. You got to make everything a game, and that's the importance of shedding those layers of pain to get to that inner child.
yeah, yeah. Fact.
You know what I mean?
Like we as
That
people, like we give so much of ourselves to all these outward things, and like we run away from tapping into ourselves.
right.
Well,
It's something I want to bring up since we talked about mental health. I've
okay.
always been curious about like schizophrenia. Uh, and so, like, I used to be on YouTube a lot before YouTube became what it is now. So, you know, back then, there was a lot of people that had a lot to say. And I was looking at a video that was talking about it and how they believe that basically schizophrenia is like, you know, like when the mother is in labor, right? As the baby's coming out of the womb, basically it's like the baby's jumped. And so, as an infant, the child is basically like in spiritual turmoil. And because it catches this person while they're a baby, they can basically mess their head up early. And so recently I looked at another video of a man on YouTube. I don't be remembering links and stuff. I did start writing them down. But in this, he started off as a mental health professional, and he talked about how when you learn about mental health, it's basically like this is what it is. There's nothing else, and if you suggest that it's something else, then something's wrong with you. So if you had a question about a mental illness, it's like basically like you were in the wrong because you should just believe and accept the science for what it is. But as the man does his research, as he's talking to more schizophrenic people, he notices similarities. And basically, he gets comfortable with the people, and they start telling him how they have separate voices in their heads. And these voices have triggers. And he realized that it was a scripture that actually it can actually basically in a way get rid of them, not necessarily get rid of them, but they don't like it. But it's the pastures. Lord, forgive me, my mind is like real short right now. I'm doing a lot, but basically uh, it's like the way it worked. Whenever he would question these schizophrenic people, they would basically like penalize him for it and would tell him if he keeps questioning them, then he would get in trouble for it. And he's like, why would I get in trouble for questioning schizophrenic people? Because their excuse is that you're going to trigger them. But in reality, it wasn't a trigger. With him asking questions, he can understand more of what they have going on mentally, to where he started experiencing paranormal things while talking to these people. So it just kind of solidified everything, but it makes you think about certain mental illnesses, and is it really mental, or is it something else that's going on, or a combination of both? And with the fact that we ignore mental health, it makes it easier for people to ignore things like shadow work. And if they do have attachments, that makes it even harder for them to recognize them, because instead we're trying to treat it like an illness instead of what it really is.
Spiritual warfare.
And so we all know it goes back to a money thing. That's why they don't want you to question it, because if you do any research on psychiatry, or if you ever took I think it might be psychology in college, you will learn that science actually started off spiritually.
Facts.
And they were doing certain things like trying to prove like the spirit leaving the body after you pass. Like they were literally trying to weigh people after they passed away. Like that's how serious they were about it. But something happened along the lines that made them stop thinking that. I guess I ain't gonna say stop. I think they started finding something out and they started keeping it secret. If you ask me. But like they were doing experiment. You ever heard of an experiment where they took a dog's head and basically hooked it up to something that's, I guess you would kind of call it like a bypass machine, to pass the fluids through it so that the head can become animated? And it's an actual video of it.
I think I watched that. Didn't it happen like back in like the 70s or the 80s?
Like
Well, it might be
it's way
60s,
older
70s.
than that. It's older than that.
Yeah, it's an old video. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's but it's like it may seem like I'm going away, but it's a connection there, because when you lose your sense of spirit
Mm-hmm.
and you become totally focused on your flesh, that's where you get things like mental illness, because you're just focused on the flesh. You're just focused on the symptoms of what's really going on. And like another thing with psychiatry, if you learn about like depression meds, they are literally made to make you worse
Facts.
because they believe that if they make it worse, that it's somehow supposed to get better. That's why on the medicines it says that you're at risk of making yourself pass on, which is crazy to me. Like, we got to get a good look on psychiatry, mental health history to kind of get a basis of like where to start. Because it's so easy to label something as mental illness because it prevents you from actually working through it. Because like I said, you treat it like the illness, so you just find some type of medicine for it. But we forget that medicine is supposed to help you, not mask. So it's just a lot going on. And when you get to things like mental illness, you got people that are basically caught up in their shadow self, and it's hard for them to come out of it because nobody's telling them what it is that's really going on. Instead, you got a bunch of people telling them something's wrong with their brain. Like, what does that do to people when you tell them that it's something wrong with their brain instead of saying, you have a valid reason to feel this way, now let's just go work through it? Like, maybe people approach it in a different manner. Maybe people wouldn't be so scared to go to therapy because somebody's so quick to give you a label instead of actually understanding where your trauma comes from. Like, PTSD is not the problem. It's the issue that's the problem. You don't treat PTSD, you treat the issue. You don't treat the symptom from the trauma, you treat the trauma. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all talk. So I just wanted to put that little bit in there.
You cooking.
I agree.
Facts.
Um, yeah, when it comes to psychiatrists and all that, I'm if you like it, I love it, but I don't really agree with it to a certain degree because I believe that self-empowerment is the leading cause to healing. And if you're going towards anybody outside of self, then that means you're giving them your power. And again, we talked about this before. Who's to say their opinion is right? I believe that you got to go within. For any answers you're looking for, you got to go within. And you got to reflect, you got to self-reflect.
And can't no psychiatrist go in you and tell you what you got going on. That's why they're asking
They
questions
can't.
and sitting there listening and coming to a conclusion because they're essentially just assuming.
That's it.
Facts.
But a lot of people realize that they know the answers to their problems, but they just don't acknowledge it because like everyone has that voice in their head that tells them right from wrong. Like you can't tell me like I don't. Some people are soulless, but for the most part, like everyone has a conscience, and although some consciences are stronger than others, we all get reception. You feel what I'm saying? And like when you feel your gut telling you like this isn't right or this is right, you got to go with that. Or you know. But a lot of people don't acknowledge it, and that's when the problem cycles. Ali,
All right.
Hopefully it's working good, 'cause I think the whole TikTok not working funny today.
I know,
I
you
I,
know.
I can hear now.
Yeah, this like the third. Oh, he probably ain't hear me. I was saying, hey, brother Rob, what's good, man? You there?
Yeah. I'm here, man. I was just kind of cooking and a little cleaning up, but now I'm always busy when I get off work.
True, true, man. Introduce yourself real quick. Let the people know what you got going on, what you do.
All right, family. How y'all doing, man, this evening? I'm Ross Slim, Double M. I'm a barber. I'm here on TikTok to pretty much introduce myself as a dancing barber and gamer and XYZ whatnot. But everything, I'm more in tune to the shadow work and the healing and also the psychology and everything. I don't too much speak too much on it because like it's kind of a touchy subject and like I'm not saying I'm afraid to touch boundaries on it, but like everybody fit in a certain type of bubble, so I don't mean to aim to offend nobody when I do speak. So I'm gonna just start off saying that. So like I was kind of in and out here and there. I got back in when Pineapple was speaking. How you doing, Pineapple? How you doing, Mr. Naked and or Miss Naked?
How you doing?
My bad, Miss Naked and Big E. Appreciate you
Yes,
for
sir.
tuning me in, Ali. My bad.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
always, man. You always welcome. All y'all are always welcome. But
Um, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, nah, it's on. You can go, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna touch bases on trauma and childhood experiences, whatnot. I
Break it
just
down.
today I just took my daughter to school, man, and next door to my ex-wife is my cousin on my stepfather's side of the family. My actual cousin them, and my cousin she jumped out the door yelling at she's the caretaker for my uncle's son. Baby
Mm-hmm.
mama didn't want him no more. He 18 years old. He goes to high school and he works. She fussing at him like 7 in the morning about him not waking up on time and that he 18, he does work, and when you graduate, you up out the house. It's your senior year. I'm like, yo, he's still a kid though. And then like what you doing is pretty traumatizing because like you about to awaken this man villain art right now. I'm saying that because I was once a kid too. We all kind of got to look back on that and realize that we once was kids too, and what we didn't like is when we was adolescent to now. Um, which is I'm in a self development book called The Five Love Languages for Children. I'm gonna jump into the one for teenagers because pretty much basically all us adults we ain't nothing but big ass damn teenagers. Tell you the truth. I'm gonna just say it like that. When we done adult and when we put the adult into the side, some of us turn into big ass teenagers. So I'm gonna get back to the story of the topic. What I was getting to. I told my cousin, I'm like, check this out. He's not an independent until the age of about 25, 26, and by law, that's law. And what I mean by that is like, unless you're making $33,000 or better, joined the military, or had a kid, you are not independent until around this age. And it took me a while to understand like the concept of this. And excuse me for pausing. It took me a while to understand that our parents, they did the best that they could. My mother was 17 and my father was 15. So with that being said, like they ain't no shit. And I believe that around the age of 18 to 24, 25, you got 7 more years of training after you get the basic knowledge of education. You got a good 7 more years to learn finances if you haven't been trained on that already growing up. Um, Learning how to save your money, learning how to wake up on time, and what's more important, what's important in life, and also getting into that Bible instead of everybody screaming that. I mean, no offense to anybody who isn't in the religious platform, but if you are and you scream that you believe in God, whatnot, I believe that we all need to start getting into that biblical Bible, whether it's the Quran, the Torah, or the Holy Bible. Whatever religion you practice, that's a practice. But getting into that Bible and getting to know thyself is a whole nother atmosphere. Like, I understand people say the Bible's written by man. Sorry to get off subject. And went kind of to the religious realm.
It's all connected. Don't worry about it.
Um, Getting into that Bible, like, you unlock certain doors. I understand it was written by man for man, but for man to like better perform as leaders. But understanding, yes, it was written by man, and understanding that certain places names have changed, certain the places, the mountains, the people, the names have changed, but they changed those names for a reason, to hide something from you. But the truth is still the truth in there. So just dive into it and get into it. Right now we in Exodus. I understand. I know a lot of people, grandparents told y'all get into that Exodus. But I'm kind of nervous right now tonight, man. It's my first time speaking on like an open topic like this. Like, it's kind of crazy. I done got my feet wet a little bit, so
You
I'm kind
cooking,
of.
man. You cooking, bro. You cooking. Carry on. You cooking.
But yeah, I was just trying to reach my.
All right, we'll give a little second, see if Raw get back connected. Um, shoot, man.
Yo, there it
All
is.
right, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, but basically the traumatizing experience of an adult embarrassing you as a child and leading you down this path. I'm like, so was he up late playing the games? Like, nah, he was asleep all day. I'm like, so little man was asleep all day. Oh, what'd he do? Oh, he go to school and he go to work. So we 2 weeks in on school and he go to work. He came home and was knocked out. Did y'all check and see if he had anything to eat? Like, God damn, bro, what kind of household is man growing up into? And then we got to think about how we raising these kids, and then they go off to get married, and then they mistreating the male or the female that they getting involved with. And that's another thing too. We kind of like, I'm diving all over the damn place. My
But
bad.
no, but can I speak on something related to what you said?
Go ahead.
I want to look. Children are basically. I'm trying to figure out. They basically get it the worst in the world, and I don't think a lot of people want to accept that. Okay, what girl? Okay, see, I'm gonna say something. I don't think people realize how traumatizing it is to go from high school and go into the real world. You go
Tell
from
them.
just having to worry about basically making sure your homework done and waking up on time to now
Get
you
some
gotta
noodles
make
in your
sure,
belly.
yeah, you gotta literally support yourself. Like, that's traumatizing. Like, and then it's like it's a little uncomfortable because I feel like society kind of like sugarcoats what being a responsible adult really is and what it's like, and they try to brush it off and make it seem like it's so simple. Like with college, like it, college, it's not that simple where you just go to college and then you get out and you making all this money. But when I was in school, that's how they made it seem. But it's like we're treated. It's a certain way you got to treat kids. You have to treat them as
You
if
there?
they're growing, not as if they're staying. You like a plant. That's the best way I can describe it. And like with nowadays, it's a lot of lines being blurred, and boundaries are no longer there. And without boundaries there's no structure. And where there's no structure, where the lines are not blurred, then things that are not okay become okay.
Mm,
And so that's basically where we are at. And in a way that can make it like hard for people to go through shadow work because somebody told them that what they was doing was okay. And they actually believe it. But they only believe it because somebody else told them that it was okay. But if you really go within themselves, they're not okay with what they're doing.
mm. And then the
But
parent quit this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, say what you gotta say real quick.
No, I was saying then the parents telling you to get out at the age of 18. And I had a discussion on where that came from. I believe, I'm going to just go out on the limb here. I believe that came from the mentality of crop sharing. You can stay here on my property and stay in this house, but you got to come work out here in this field. I'm going to pay you 2 pennies a day. And you take the rest of the crops and you go sell it. Now, most of the kids didn't stay home. They left. Either you going to get down or you going to lay down. The motherfuckers got on. And the same mentality went forward. And so like I'm still looking around like right now today, you telling an 18-year-old to get the hell out at 18. We ain't in that time no more, homie. This is pretty much a 3 income household now. If you ain't making 100 plus, you poor.
Yeah, that's true. That's what people don't want to accept. I don't understand the concept of that. Anyway, so it's like you don't really get a chance to be a child, but you don't get a chance to like being a child and becoming an adult. It's a big adjustment, and I'm learning like because I have sons, and like one thing I'm big on is teaching them to think. If you can think of what you want and you can think of figuring out a way to get it, you can think. Now, so at some point, there's no excuses. Like, what age was it when Jesus started ministering? Was it 12? And like, it's an age in the Bible that they speak of. I think it is 12. That once a child
Yes,
becomes
it is.
12.
It is about. It's somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay, so let me.
Not necessarily. He started
It's
speaking to the elders and they took him up under their wing. It's in Luke, matter of fact.
mhm.
They took him up under his wing because they couldn't believe how well versed in his knowledge was, and they took him to the temple.
Okay, okay,
But yeah, you're right. Though. He
yeah,
was there.
yeah. Cause I have a 12-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, and I can see the difference in the way that they think. And like
Yeah,
children, this is the way children work. We're going to speak on a child that grows up in a good home. We're not speaking on anything outside of it. Uh, like my children, they weren't necessarily sheltered. They weren't necessarily rich, but they lived a very comfortable life where they never had to be in a place of want. So, in a way, that creates a thing in a child's head where it makes them believe that people are supposed to cater to them. But that's only because all their life, what have people done? There's somebody constantly taking care of them. So, in the beginning part of a child's life, you're basically teaching them to not be selfish. And then once you kind of think you get them to that point, then you're trying to teach them responsibility. But we don't take those steps. We kind of just rush it. And we, school is important, but we have to also focus on worldly skills when it comes to these kids, especially when it comes to social and understanding. How would you say this? Like basically how someone talks to you, because
Context.
yeah, context. Because I've been noticing nowadays. Please don't take this personally, anybody, but like with like it's a lot more kids with autism. So like to me, like when it comes to that, like I kind of lost my train of thought because I was thinking of that and then my mind went somewhere else.
Context.
Yeah, but it was
Autism.
context. Yeah, because like people that are usually autistic, they take everything literally, and so you have to kind of
What you
teach
trying to say?
them.
I'm messing with you.
No, but it's with regular people too. Like kids, like, because kids can take things literally, and that's why you have certain people that grow up and say they have traumas, all because they don't understand that their kid brain took that situation or them words the wrong way. And so it's it's weird because you don't have that transition of being a child becoming an adult. So it's it's weird how I'm describing this, but the point is, since we don't have a smooth transition between child and adult, you have a lot, like you said, you have a lot of people that just become grown.
I
You
get,
broke
I
up.
get, I get what Pineapple Ice Tea saying by, it's not no. I guess you can say like I guess something like a buffer as well as something to help transition from that kid to an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we should develop something that would help these kids better transition and be better suited for life. I don't think we, as far as what was being touched on with that, as far as with our kids, like we do not set them up for success as far as navigating life. Okay, yeah, maybe sending them off to school or to the military or whatever, or playing sports or whatever and making money. But what about their overall development as a person? Do they even have a foundation to be out on their own, let alone the mindset, or are they even mentally stable to handle the pressures of what comes with adulting, the shit that we don't like doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, none of us like fucking adulting. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Look, we ain't nothing but a bunch of motherfucking kids with responsibility.
That's it. Like Chucky said,
Say it
I
again.
don't want no more
Say
responsibilities.
it again.
This is
Yeah,
too much. I
Responsibility.
didn't grow
hey,
up to
hey,
pay bills. This
Still
ain't what
watch
I
anime
wanted
and
to
play
do.
video games.
yo, check this.
That
Remember
nigga
when
Ali
we was
be
young? Remember when we was young? You'd be like, man, I can't wait till I'm grown.
what you say.
Man, I'm 40 years old, man. I'm like, man, fuck this shit, bro. I was like fucking 16.
Take
Fuck this
take
bullshit.
take me back. Take me further
Right.
back.
I would
Take me
take just
further back.
having to worry
I
about
want to
high
do that
school. That's cool.
stuff. But I
Take
mean,
me back.
I like I say, like it's crazy, like with certain things that we go through in life. There's no manual for this shit. We wing a lot of this shit. Like it's no reference material,
Basically.
like we might get some advice here and there, but we making this shit up as we go along till like we actually go back and start correcting shit
That's why
or
we end up
questioning to correct.
incarcerated
Yeah,
bad on taxes around here. Because a lot of
bro.
folks don't go out there and get their LLCs. And that's another thing. Like when they took the hold on. when they took the jobs away from all the black men, and said you got to have certificates, you got to have a certified certificate. Now, the black man felt like, bro, I know this, I do this every day. What I look like going to school, taking a test or something I know how to do, because now it's in black and white. You got to go get this black and white paperwork, and also insurance is in place right now too, because now the world, the nation is working on insurances, and like knowing and understanding how the world works, and everybody is against this shit. I'm an LLC owner. I am, and I'm working on my steps to get into my places of these loans and get up in there before these folks start snatching up all these grants and everything before, you know what I mean? So put that out there, but that's where it comes.
Y'all want to hear a spooky story?
All right, go ahead. Let's go.
Okay,
I
well,
think
let me
you
ask.
done gave them enough on the shadow and all that.
Like,
So
it
yeah,
has something to
let's.
do with that. That's the scary part. Because,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we on some after hour shit. Let's go.
okay, so, this, you would say basically this is when I first started going through my shadow work. Like, another thing when you speak on shadow work, when you first start going through it, some weird stuff start happening to you. So, like, when I first started going through it, I was doing a lot of research about the Bible, different verses, different situations, scenarios, and things. Diving into rabbit holes and things like that, putting in connections. It was one day I was out with a friend. We were, kicking it out at the club, doing adult things. And we all decided to go back to a friend's house after the club. Okay, I only really knew my friend, and she had two sisters. I only really knew like 4 people there, but it was like a house full of people. And I'm just chilling, minding my business, and this man comes out of nowhere and sits down and starts talking to me, like as if we knew each other. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then the first question he asked me is, what do I know about the Bible? Like I said, we just came from the club. We went to somebody's house. You know, when you go to the club after somebody's house, you know what you in there doing. So for somebody to be asking you something like that, it's like,
Hey, I want to know what they was doing. My mind is wondering now.
well, just kind of take it.
That's so wrong.
Shut up. Look,
You know damn well now.
but people was under the influence, so you get what
Okay.
I
Now
mean.
my mind just took me to the
No,
picture.
nothing like
Okay.
that. No, just under the influence. I just don't want to say those things on here. But the point is, everybody under the influence, everybody chilling,
With
and
herbal
you come up
remedies,
to
gotcha.
me, yeah, asking me about the Bible
Oh
and
yeah,
asking
that's
me what details do I know and what did I figure out.
y'all in Duval, cause that probably was me. I'm messing with you.
Oh Lord, look, it better not be. I'm gonna come after you because why you do that?
Yeah, I'm messing with
I was
you.
trying to enjoy my night, but no, the point is like to the point where I even got up and went outside to walk away from him, and he got up and followed me, talked about some. I just wanted to ask you a question. Started yelling and everything.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
No, like he literally started getting belligerent for the fact that I wasn't answering him on what it was that I figured out. And then after that, I said I gotta start being careful with who I be around, because if this is my path I'm going down, it's gonna be some stuff that I see that I need to be aware of, and I need to be careful with who I be around. Because when you go through shadow work, you're kind of like open, and you got to be careful with who you be around and what certain situations you in. That's why when you're going through shadow work or you need shadow work and you're going through situations, they kind of seem like they're worse than what they should be. And that's mainly because, like I said, you're vulnerable and you're basically under attack, and everything that you're trying to fix, the enemy is trying to keep you from fixing it. So it's going to attack. all those aspects of you. So if you're going through depression, if you got something going on with a relationship, even if you got a family member sick, it's gonna mess with all of that.
Woman. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't done the shadow book, but I feel that because I've been manifesting a lot over my life. Like I think about somebody and they'll appear. I think about something and it'll happen. I have a deja vu moment. I just had a deja vu moment like 3 days ago at the barbershop. I looked directly in this dude's eyes. He looked like Amon Sharper. I'm like, bro, you bring your child in here? He's like, nah. I'm like, bro, I feel deja vu. He's like, I feel that on a spiritual level. I feel that. And he knew exactly where I was coming from. Like I knew this was gonna happen this day. I've been having deja vu like my whole life, but now I'm trying to take control of that power. But you're right though. Manifestation is real.
Yeah. One of them ways you can find out if you are a manifester is looking into your human design chart, which will break down a lot about you, which can also help with your healing and doing shadow work when you get a better understanding of why you are the way you are, the mannerisms, the habits, the characteristic traits that you may carry or have. Yeah, that human design chart, it'll break it down too, and it get deep too, right along with the shadow work journal. So like I say this, like with them two, you can put them two hand in hand, and like it's kind of like pieces. It's like pieces of the Megazord or some shit coming together. Like you got that and other tools like meditation, yoga, and all that. Yeah, all of them gonna form like this Megazord that's gonna help you out type shit. I'm sorry, I'm an '80s baby, '90s kid. So yeah, I might reference like '90s cartoons and fucking '90s kid shows and shits, but y'all know what I'm talking about though. I put it like this, man. Like anybody else, want to speak on something, like we can pretty much go anywhere now. Like we done gave the people I know we done gave them enough on the hill and the shadow work. Like we can touch on anything now. Like if anybody got any questions, any random topics, real quick, shoot, drop it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Anybody on the panel, y'all want something random. Or hey, well, let me ask y'all this. I put it like this: we ain't gonna do nothing random. Let's go around. For we go ahead and close the show real quick. Let's go around and offer some words of wisdom for the people. And we'll start with Miss Pineapple Ice Tea.
Hold on, give me a minute. Let somebody else go first, real quick.
All right. What about My Naked Truth? You there?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like just love yourself enough to want to put in the work. Like you're worthy, and like it's so worth it, honestly. Like you'll be a brand new person, you'll be a brand new parent, you'll be a brand new partner in your relationship. Just overall, just love yourself enough to put in the work. It's as simple as that, honestly.
All right, for sure. That's what's up. Brother Ra, what's up, man? You there?
Yeah. I'm here.
Got some
Um,
words of wisdom for the people before we get up out of here.
uh, I don't have too much words of wisdom, but I can say this. I like this quote. I got two things. Um, I always say, believe somebody when they tell you the first time, and make sure you tell yourself the truth afterwards. That's one. And two, since I'm on last speaking trail, I'm gonna close out with this. And I like the room. I love the room. I like the atmosphere you provide. I love I like everything that's going on. I want to keep catching all the episodes as much as I can. So I'm gonna close out on my note with this right here. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.
Mm. All right, that's a man. Make sure y'all write that down for real. And we're gonna swing back round to Miss Pineapple Ice Tea and
All right, I'm ready now.
words of wisdom.
I say have courage, because it's going to get hard. I can't say don't be scared, because it's going to be scared. But just have courage. That's what will help you get through it all. And, accept, even if you're having a negative feeling, that's okay. Accept your negative feelings because they help you work through them. The issue is we don't accept our negative feelings and they stick with us. So that's that it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave y'all with something. I like signs. That's where I get a lot of my shit from. Paying attention to the signs, because I understand that signs are manifest perceptions created from a clock in destiny, which it can reveal the surety of a design event. And like, all this is meant to be. So, with that being said, I like to thank everybody who stopped by tonight and spoke. Shout out to Big E. Shout out to Miss Pineapple Tea. Shout out to My Naked Truth. Shout out to Ross Slim Double M. Make sure y'all check these people out on TikTok. They dope, man. This ain't nothing but a spot where like all us dope individuals, we just hang out, we shoot the shit, we have a cipher, we drop information, we educate, inform. We trying to change this shit one home at a time. That's the only way we're gonna change the community. It start in the home, you dig? And with that being said, so check this. If there's any topics or questions you like us to go over, email us at knowledge4knowledge24@gmail.com. That's knowledge, the number 4, knowledge24@gmail.com. You can also check and find our episodes on our YouTube channel at Knowledge for Knowledge. Thank you all for joining and watching. Over here, we like to celebrate the richness and the culture. So we hope this episode has inspired and empowered you. Remember, knowledge is power, and together we can uplift and transform our communities. Stay connected with us on social media and share your thoughts and your stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep shining. Peace, peace. Shalom, shalom. Walaikum assalam.
Some of you niggas ain't real. Some of you niggas ain't real. Some of you niggas ain't real. Some of you niggas